Hey guys, welcome to season 1 episode 3 of this Artiste Analysis, where today we are going to find out if Ed Sheeran can really sing. So in episode 1 we talked about if Shawn Mendes can really sing, and today we're gonna talk about Shawn Mendes' idol Ed Sheeran. And Ed Sheeran is, from my impression of Ed Sheeran, he's someone who's a very, I would say, down to earth, honest kind of guy. He doesn't possess like the looks of a lot of good looking artists, but his music is what really touches people and brings him to the world stage. Like it's in fact even more amazing because Ed Sheeran doesn't have the looks, which means for him to get to the world stage and to be literally one of the most popular male pop artists in the world today, we know clearly that Ed Sheeran did it through talent, through his voice, through his composing, and not by his looks, which is what makes Ed Sheeran extra impressive as a vocalist. So his vocals must be very good, right? Probably is. So let's try to figure out if Ed Sheeran can really sing in today's Artiste Analysis. And let's begin. So now let's take a look at Ed Sheeran singing Photograph in Capital Jingle Bell Ball 2017.
When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes.
Low notes, but high placement. Hard sometimes. He's not going hard sometimes. Hard sometimes. Very floaty, and yet it is floaty and it is controlled. Like what Ed Sheeran is doing there.
It is the only thing that makes
It is the only thing. It's a bit more nasal right now. It is the only thing. It's still not. It is the only thing. It is the only. It is the only thing. Da 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 da. Very nice tone to his high placement.
us feel alive. We keep this love in this photograph. We make these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, our hearts.
And I just realized something, like I realized Ed Sheeran, his music, it always gives off a very strong emotion. Like it's either happy, like super happy, or is it like sad, like super sad. Like I think that's another power in he gives off the songs that he writes and the melody and everything. It gives off very strong emotions and very strong feelings, unlike other singers. That is something I personally feel. You might feel differently from me, but we're no longer talking about technique here. We're talking about his expression of music as an artist. I feel like he can portray very strong emotions. Like I can always feel him sing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Never broken, time's forever frozen still. Sing it. So you can keep me inside a pocket.
So you can keep me inside a pocket of your ripped jeans. Right here, what he's doing, he's keeping a high hip voice placement. Later on in the performance, he's going to compress into that placement. And I want you to notice that is literally the secret to singing your high and staying in your high complete mixed voice vocal placement without dropping back and relying on your shouting. Listen carefully afterwards. He's setting up for his high placement here already. You will never be alone. Wait for me to come home. No. You will never be alone. Wait for me to come home. High placement. Okay, but he's doing with more power. He's not doing wait for me to come home. That's more medium compression. He's doing wait for me to come home. High placement. Not wait for me to come home. No. Wait for me to come home. High. Wait for no. High. You can still get heavy, belty, but keep it as a high placement like what he's doing there.
Loving can heal. Loving can mend your soul.
That's right.
And it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that with every piece of you. And it's the only thing to with us when we die. Oh, we keep this love in this photograph. We made these memories for ourselves.
I think one thing I have to point out here is a lot of times, in fact, when I first studied Ed Sheeran, I once made a mistake to think that Ed Sheeran, he has a low placement because of how thick his vocal cords are as a baritone. He's not a tenor, he's a baritone. So when he sings his low notes, it sounds very boomy and bassy. But understand this, it is still very clear. The moment it is boomy and bassy, but it is clear, then he's still in his high placement. There's no problem if you can sound as boomy as him. If you are bass or baritone, you will sound boomy like Ed Sheeran. But that doesn't mean you're in your low chest voice placement. It just means that you are still in your high, complete, mixed voice vocal placement. And when you're able to do that, then it tells me that even as a baritone and bass, you can still keep as a high, complete, mixed voice vocal placement. You don't have to change to a lower placement, like what Ed Sheeran is doing right there.
Our eyes are never closing, our hearts were never broken, and time's forever frozen still. Sing it with me. So you can keep me inside the book.
So you see what I mean here? Now he compressed right. So previously he was doing so you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans. But now he just add power, compress into that place. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans. Listen carefully to what he's doing here.
Pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till I ride me.
You won't ever be alone. Before that, I think he was doing you won't ever be alone. I adding compression. You won't ever be alone. Instead of, if you switch your placement, then it will sound like you won't ever be alone. No, then we don't want that. You feel like you're choking. You want to flip. Or you won't ever be alone. You won't ever be alone. No, we don't want that. We want keep it high hit voice placement. You won't ever be alone. And then I compress. You won't ever be alone. Like what he's doing there.
So you can keep me inside the pocket. So you can keep me inside the pocket. And if you hurt me, well that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't.
I think I talked about this in one of my earlier videos also of how to belt high notes. And in that video, I didn't really demonstrate, but in this video, I demonstrated it. So that is exactly what I mean with the example of what Ed Sheeran is doing.
Never let you go. Wait for me to come home. 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 When I'm out.
Listen carefully. Here, what is he doing here? He went loud, but he's able to hold it back without his voice breaking. Listen again.
Me to come
home, home. No. Home. A lot of control. You have so much control when you're in your high, complete, mixed voice vocal placement, like what Ed Sheeran is doing there.
When I'm away, I will remember how you kissed me
Amazing.
under the lamppost back on the city street. Hearing you whisper through the phone, wait for me to come home. Hearing you whisper through the phone, wait for me to come home. Hearing you whisper through the phone, wait for me to come home.
Oh, it's that it up, yeah?
Hearing you whisper through the phone, wait for me to come home. Hearing you whisper through the phone, wait for me to come home. Hearing you whisper through the phone.
There we go. He jumped one entire octave. No problem. Hit it exactly. We hear you whisper through the phone. Is that what he's doing? Hearing you whisper through the phone. Keep it same placement. Hear you whispering. What's the lyrics? Let me get the lyrics right. Hearing you whisper through the phone. Hearing you whisper through the phone. It's all high placement. He didn't go. Hearing you whisper through the phone. Hearing you cannot. You can't do that. Keep it high. Hearing you whisper through the phone. You can even go hit voice. Hearing you whisper through the phone. And then I compress into it. Hearing you whisper through the phone. And then you will get a kind of high belt quality that Ed Sheeran is doing there. Like, I'm not going full out. I'm just trying to show you what it means to compress into that high placement, like what Ed Sheeran is doing there. He's just completely lost in his mode. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing when a performer gets so in the zone, like in the present moment. He just lost himself in the performance. Like, he just enjoying. Like, it's really nice to see a performer enjoying himself, right? That's why it's called performance, right? We want to see the performer enjoying. And it, honestly, when Ed Sheeran does that, he seems very happy, and it's good because then happiness is just it's contagious. Just gives out, and I feel happy actually watching him do that and getting all lost in his world on the stage. And remember, you can't do that if you have a bad placement. If you have a bad placement, you're thinking, oh no, oh shit, the next high note is coming, but you have a good placement. You enjoy yourself all you want on the stage as a singer, because you know with 100% certainty, when a high note comes afterwards, you will be able to hit it, like what Ed Sheeran is doing there. And if you listen to him, hear you whispering through the phone. He did it like 4 or 5 times there, and his voice is still not tired. If you're doing a low placement, you try to shout it up. You try to belt it up from this low placement. You can do it once or twice, and your voice will still sound out of control. But the third, fourth, fifth time, your voice will definitely break. You either go flat or your voice breaks. But Ed Sheeran is perfectly fine here. There's a reason why. he just belt it out like it's no one's business. Okay, but the at the before that, it really sets him up. When he's doing that, it helps him find a narrow spot, that high placement for him to compress into. So when he compress into it, it's like no problem for him because he really found a high placement, high head voice placement to aid him into compressing into that high complete mixed voice vocal placement. And if you want to learn exactly how you can access your high complete mixed voice vocal placement, I know this is a very direct way of doing it, but for most of us, we are not able to do it. We need to have specific step-by-step guide to doing so. Because when I first accessed my high complete mixed voice vocal placement, I wasn't able to do what he did just now. I wasn't able to even demonstrate whatever I just demonstrated to you throughout the entire video. I wasn't able to do that. I had to build my voice from scratch. If you have seen my singing transformation video, you have known how I used to sing. Like, it was all low placement. I was shouting my low placement, I was flipping to a weak falsetto and had nothing in between. And I had to devise a way to figure out a step-by-step manner how I can access that high complete mixed voice vocal placement. And I know a lot of you who are stuck in your low chest voice placement. The truth is this, you will not be able to find your high placement so easily. Like whatever I just taught you, some people, you try it, you'll be able to find it immediately. If that's you, you're probably naturally talented at singing. And you already have the idea of a high placement to begin with. But for most of us who are still stuck in our low, heavy, stubborn chest voice vocal placement, then you need a step-by-step procedure. And I go through it exactly in my complete mixed voice 1.0 online singing course. So go ahead and actually get it. Like really go and get it, because it is going to help you sing so much more songs, so much more nuance that you never had before. Like what Ed Sheeran is demonstrating here, and then what a lot of great singers are demonstrating. If you want to be able to demonstrate those nuance, you want to be able to sing and actually impress people. You want to be able to sing and actually sing the song the right way. Sing the song in a way that you want to sing and not just flip to a falsetto because you just can't sing those high notes. Then go ahead and actually get that course. It's going to help you out lots. And if you take whatever you learned in these videos, my YouTube videos, and you combine that with what you learned in that course, your improvement will be so fast. And you will access your high complete mixed voice placement so fast and access those high notes that you've only dreamt of so fast that it is going to be so worth it for you as a singer. Alright, so go ahead, get a course if you want to be a great singer. And let's continue finishing up Ed Sheeran's video.
Next to your heartbeat where I should be, keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, well, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. You go. So when I'm away,
Oh! Is adding a bit more of distortion there.
hearing you whisper through the phone, wait for me to come home.
Like literally listen to how the last part, like this entire song is about 7 minutes, and yet at the end he still belt out those high notes like it's free and easy, because it is free and easy for him. He had that high complete mixed voice vocal placement from day one. He is a talented singer, but most of us, we have to learn how to access it. Then we can sing the way those great singers that we love are singing. And Ed Sheeran is definitely an awesome vocalist with an awesome vocal placement that we should really learn from him. Alright, now let's continue watching the next video of Ed Sheeran. Once again, this is another Jingle Bell Ball 2017 Ed Sheeran, but this time it's a different song, Castle on the Hill. And let's see how Ed Sheeran sings the song. high energy beat in it. Okay, let's skip the high energy part.
I was running from my brother and his friends. Tasted the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down. I was younger then. Take me back to when I found my heart broken. Made friends and lost them through the years. And I've not seen the rolling fields in so long. I know I've grown, but I can't wait to go home.
Oh yeah! Look at how easy he goes from his low notes, like he went really low now. I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes. Like he just did it so easily. That's a baritone. That's why I say, a lot of times, it is not about your voice type. Ed Sheeran has a low voice. So if you have a low voice and you're watching this, it's not an excuse for you to not sing high notes. Look at how easily Ed Sheeran does it. Is it because of the vocal cords? No. No. It is because of this high placement that Ed Sheeran knows how to utilize that you don't. And that is why for you, you feel like you're, oh, I'm a bass, I'm a baritone, I can't sing high notes. No. There's so many basses and baritone that can sing high notes so well. They can sing it even better than tenors who are stuck in their low placement. Yes, you heard that right. A bass and a baritone who have accessed their high placement can sing their high notes even better than tenors who are stuck in their low chest voice placement. And that is why the key determining factor a lot of time is not because of your voice type or how low or how high is your voice. It is rather your placement. Can you keep a high placement? If you can, singing high notes and belting out high notes like what Ed Sheeran is doing there is no problem at all. Let's keep watching. When he's saying Jingle Bell, how are you feeling? It's also a high placement. He's not like just shouting, hey, Jingle Bell, how are you feeling? No. Jingle Bell, how are you feeling? Like, it's what he's doing. Listen carefully again.
15 years old.
Jingle Bell Boy, how you feeling? Aye, high placement. Not Jingle Bell, how you feeling? No. Jingle Bell Boy, how you feeling? It's what he's doing, right? And that's why when those singers, when they shout, you think they are shouting, but they are not shouting. They are singing. They're singing off pitch in their high placement. That is why they can shout and still not damage their voice. Think about it. It's the magic in the high placement.
15 years old, smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, running from the law through the backfields and getting drunk with my friends. Had my first kiss on a Friday night. I don't reckon that I did it right. I was younger then.
I love the lyrics.
Take me back to when we found out weekend jobs, and when we got paid, we'd buy cheap spirits and drink them straight.
I just have to say again, I just love Ed Sheeran's lyrics so much. Like, his lyrics are so relatable and so honest and so pure innocent. You know, I just love it so much about Ed Sheeran.
Friends have not thrown up in so long, oh how we grow. But I can't wait to go home and I'm on my way.
Easy.
Driving that 90 down the country lane, singing to time, dancing and I miss the way you made.
If you listen just now, when he hit the high notes, it's an A4. that Ed Sheeran did there, and he didn't even flinch. It's that easy for him. Yeah, so you don't need to be a tenor to sing high notes. You can just be like Ed Sheeran, a baritone with a high placement, can sing A4 so easily as well in a live performance.
One friend left so close, and one works down by the coast. Other one's just out.
Like he have to do it 3 times in this song because there's 3 choruses, and he's still like belting it out. Like his throat is absolutely fine. No, doesn't feel hoarse. Good high placement, Ed Sheeran. There we go, Ed Sheeran. And his high placement. This is how a baritone uses a high placement to overcome his lack of natural low notes in his vocal range. So, welcome to the end of Season 1, Episode 3, where we check out if Ed Sheeran can really sing. Well, of course he can. Look at how he belt out those powerful high notes in his live performances. Like, it's so easy for him, right? And even though I'm supposed to be analyzing and really going in depth into his vocal technique, which I did today, I'm really more impressed by Ed Sheeran as a musician and artist in terms of the way he writes his song and the kind of melody he produces in his song. Like, his vocal technique is really good, but I'm more impressed by songwriting, if that makes sense, because he just makes Ed Sheeran so unique and so great. Yeah, but back to vocal technique, Ed Sheeran, he's so good. And if let's say 0 is when he first began learning how to sing, and 10 is Ed Sheeran's maximum potential, I'll say Ed Sheeran is already at his 9 or 9.5. He has like almost maxed out his voice in terms of potential, because he have really been singing for quite a while now and for quite long, and he has a really well developed high complete mixed voice vocal placement, a really strong one also. That's why he's able to belt out those high notes so easily. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed today's artist analysis, and I'll catch you again in the next episode. Peace. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the artist analysis that I just did. You probably have heard me mention high complete mixed voice vocal placement multiple times, or high placement multiple times in the video, because that's literally the key to singing high notes well, like that singer that you have just watched. And once you can access your own high complete mixed voice vocal placement, you will unlock your high notes faster than you can imagine, like what I've done over the past 1 short year. If you want to discover your own high complete mixed voice vocal placement, then follow the link below and I'll show you exactly how you can do that. See you on the other side.